Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to apply FlutterHabit lashes. I love these things. I've been wearing them for probably 2 years or something crazy. I'm going to show you my stash, but I did a tutorial of how to apply them several months back, almost a year probably now, and you guys loved it, but I want to give you kind of like an updated video. So let's do this. So I keep all of my lashes here. I like different styles just so I can try them out. Whenever I first started wearing lashes, I started with the original. It's long and full. Now they've come out with so many different styles that it's not like the fullest or the longest anymore, but it's still a really pretty one. And then I moved down to Happy Medium, which is a good middle ground lash with length and fullness. Now my current favorite is Weightless number 3. Their Weightless collection is so lightweight, it's crazy how you can tell a difference in wearing them, but these are my favorite, and so I'm going to show you how to apply them. All right, step 1 is to gather your tools. I'm going to use the Weightless number 3 lashes, and then I have the FlutterHabit on the go kit with some spare lashes. These are Happy Medium that I just left in there, but then I have my glue. The glue is linked in my Amazon storefront under fashion or beauty, I think beauty. I use 2 different glues. Now I feel like this is my like trick to get them to last long. The company says it's 5-day wear. I get mine to last 7, sometimes even 7 to 10 days is usual, but sometimes even 14 days. When I delivered Surrogacy last time, that set that I had on was 14 days, and I've got to attribute it to 2 different types of glues. So I use Glad Girl lash glue. It's black and it has like a little rubbery feel, and then the second one I use is Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive, and it's clear, and this is the winning combo. And you do need a good pair of scissors. I have the FlutterHabit scissors and then tweezers. So starting out, I'm gonna use this top row of lashes, and what helps me is whenever I like close my eyes, I know this is the way they go, and you wanna keep them in that order. You don't want to get them out of order because some of them are tapered, so they're longer in the middle and more angled on the outside. Everyone's eye shape is different, so you wanna make sure that when you're getting your lashes prepped and ready for your eye, some people's eyes are more narrow and some are longer. So although you're given this many like segments and sections, you may not need all of them. And so I know, because I've used this set multiple times before, if you look closely on this outside, it has like 3 segments in the whole section. I know that this one on the end here, or like the inside end, I don't use. I take it off. If it's too long, then it like will poke my inner corner of my eye, but then if I remove the whole section, then it's like too short and it like looks weird on my eye. So I'm gonna take these sections off and lay them out, and then I'll start cutting them and trimming them. I'm gonna start taking the sections off. Now there's glue on the back of it, so I just lay it on my finger like that, pinch the lashes, and then the glue comes right off. And so I'm gonna do that for each one, and I'm gonna set it over here so that way you can kind of see the lashes as I do it. Okay, so now I have them all cut. This is my left eye and my right eye. There's 4 sections each. So again, I told you that this inside end right here I don't need, and so I'm gonna cut that off. On each section, you'll notice that there's like a clear end there that needs to be trimmed off. So you're gonna trim each of those. You're gonna trim it off because you don't want that clear base to be there, or else it'll like poke your eye. So I trim that one off. If someone was keeping that one, all you would do is trim the end and it'd be good and ready to go. But since I'm not keeping this section, I'm gonna trim it off. And then what I usually do with these little ones is I'll just put it in a jar. That way, if I had one that falls off, I have spares. So my right outside corner is done and ready. Then I work my way and do each of them. And if there's any extra glue that I left, I take it off. So I just finished the right, and then here's the left. So you can see the difference between the right one is done, but the left one still has some clear spots on it, or the clear little tabs, so I'm gonna go cut those off now. Before we start applying the lashes, there are a few things to keep in mind. Remember that just because you're given all these segments doesn't mean you need them all for your eye. It's gonna be trial and error. I always tell people, give yourself 3 different applications, 3 different days of applying them to see if you like them, if they work for you. Don't give up after the first time. When I first put them on and I used the original, I was like, whoa, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But also, I put them too far in on my inner corner. So when I blinked, I could feel it was poking me, and it just hurt so bad, I think I took them off within 30 minutes. So I let my eyes rest. The next day, I did it again. The second set, I put them too far out on the inner corner because I wanted to like compensate for what I did the last time. Well, whenever I put them too far out, when I blinked, I could feel them. They were poking the corner of my eye. It was very uncomfortable. The third day, I thought to myself, okay, if they were too long, then I need to trim them. I ended up trimming them. By the third time, I was like, this is it, it's perfect. When you blink, you shouldn't feel them. You'll still see them because you're not used to having something there other than like mascara, your normal lashes, but you'll see them and your eyes will feel like heavy. It just feels weird, but you forget that they're there and it's eventually like out of sight, out of mind type of thing. But give yourself 3 applications before you figure out if you're gonna continue wearing them or not. So we're gonna start putting glue on. I'm gonna start with the black Glad Girl glue. Keep in mind, if you're in a humid climate or not humid climate, sometimes the duration of like your glue drying will change. Sometimes my glue only needs like 2 minutes to dry, but then sometimes it needs 4 minutes to dry. You don't wanna go too long because then the glue won't be tacky anymore and it won't adhere to your lashes. If you go too little, then glue's gonna be everywhere. It's gonna be a hot mess. You're gonna have glue in your eye and it's gonna look like a lash massacre happened. But you'll find, again, that happy medium of how long you need it to let it dry for and then when to start applying. I'm gonna start with the black glue. You're gonna start with your outside lash. I always start applying here out. For me, it's an easy start point to start there. So I'm gonna start with the outside lash. You're gonna put a 3D line at the base on the little clear section of the lash. So it's gonna look like that. And then you can do it on the ends a little bit, like drag the line down. And I always start looking at my clock at what time it is, so it's 1:54. I'm gonna do again the 3D line down each of them. So I have 4 sections on this right side. And you don't wanna do too much because then you'll be able to see the glue when it dries. At about 1.5, 2 minute mark, you're gonna take your clear adhesive and each section, starting with the outside, you're not gonna put it on the outside edge because that outside edge doesn't touch anything. But the inside edge of the last section will touch and butt up to the other section. So you wanna put a clear swipe on that side and this side, that way when they're on your eye, they stick together. Let's say the black glue starts to get compromised and the lash starts to come off. You have the safety net of this clear on the outside holding on to the other lash. Should your lashes start to fall off and that black glue doesn't hold anymore, the white glue will keep it together. So right like this, the bottom half of each lash. And then all I have left is the inner corner, and so I'm only gonna do that right side because the other side doesn't touch anything. And now I'm gonna start applying. So I'm now almost 3 minutes in, and I don't want it to dry too much. So I'm gonna start, I've been at that 3 minutes. If I've been waiting for 4 minutes, it's too long. So I'm gonna grab my right outside lash. Bear with me because it's hard to do this on camera. Sometimes you have to set it down, pick it up, reposition it. And I'm gonna go right above my water line. You don't want it to touch your water line because it will hurt, you'll feel it. So set it on there, give it a little touch to set it, and then walk away. Grab the other one, and you're gonna butt it up right next to it on your lash line. You can touch it close to the other one, but don't go on your lash line. Third one. And see how quick I'm going? Because I don't want it to dry. You have about 1/2 second to make adjustments before it dries. Sometimes you put it on and you have to take it off because it doesn't look right. So I'm pushing the left edge of this second section over a little bit just to adhere to the other one. Okay, once you get them on there, don't touch them. Even if you need to make an adjustment, don't touch them. Just leave them because the glue is still slimy and the a little movement's just gonna like shift it all. So we're not gonna touch it, okay? Now I'm gonna start putting on the glue to the other side. I'm gonna look at my clock, it's 1:59. I'm gonna start on the outside, put glue on and work my way to the inside. Now here, if I do this and a lash comes off, just pause. Don't freak out. Keep the lashes that you have on, make sure they're still good. The ones that came off, let them dry, peel the glue off, let it dry, start again. Okay, so we're letting this one set because we just did it. This one is finished. So you're gonna take your finger, curl your knuckles a little bit, and very gently, you're gonna like soft blink on your curved finger while you're like pushing up a little bit. If you do it too hard, it's still tacky and your lashes will stick to your finger, so don't do that. After a few more minutes, what I can do with this one too is while I close my eye, I can give it a little squeeze like this, just to again adhere my lashes to the lash, but you don't want to do it too soon because that glue is drying. Some of the big questions I get asked are, can you get them wet? I've heard of people getting them wet and being fine with it. I personally have not had good experience with getting them wet and then them staying. There are times where I will have an emotional week, or whenever I was pregnant and I cried a lot or whatever, they will last through the tears. They'll get kind of stiff, but they'll still stay on. Now, if you like messy cry and like rub your eyes, they're all over the place. If you're a hand sleeper or like a hand on face sleeper, just be mindful of that, like where you're putting your hand when you sleep. Every now and then I will wake up in the middle of the night and a lash will be gone, like somewhere. Sometimes it's in my hair, on my pillow, on the floor, on the blanket. I find it, take the glue off, put glue back on, and reapply it. Just because one fell off doesn't mean I take the whole set off. I just reapply that one. And that's also when these little extra ones come in handy, because if you can't find it when you're sleeping or when you wake up, just grab one out of your jar and put it on. If you need to trim it, but then you don't waste all the other lashes. Because we put 2 different glues on, you will last longer than the 5 days. I hope you do, because I've, again, done this for 2 years and mine always last longer than the 5 days. If you're getting to that 5-day point and you're like, oh, it's time to take them off, and you're having trouble getting them off, they're not ready to come off. Don't pull them off. Then you're just gonna rip your eyelashes off. Unless you're like, I wanna get them off, I wanna clean my face, whatever. How I take them off is I go in the shower, rinse off my face, put some warm water on, and just kind of like rub my eyes gently, and they will just slide right off. Don't just like pull them off. You will recognize when you take them off that there's some of your natural lashes on there. I heard a stat somewhere that you lose about 10 lashes a week. You just don't recognize it because they just fall off, but you will see them a lot more. Yes, my eyelashes are a little bit thinner now, but I only wear lashes. I don't wear mascara now, so I could kind of care less, but you can still put some lash serum on while you're wearing them. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Here are the FlutterHabit lashes. This is Weightless 3, my personal favorite. A good one to start with is Happy Medium if you don't know where to start, or Sweetheart is a good one. It's a real curly one, or Weightless number 2 is a good one as well. You can use the code down below. It's DaneandSam10 for 10% off your order. I love these things because as a busy mom, I can wake up in the morning and be ready. Like, I don't have to do anything. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope it was helpful. If you don't already, you can follow me on all platforms at We Are Dane and Sam, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this video to stay updated on everything we're doing. We'll see you guys.